Madrid now, and the Monaco Grand Prix is about to start. There's Scott Stoddard with his Jordan BRM. And with him now is Jeff Jordan himself, talking to this brilliant English driver who's won so many races in the dark green BRMs. Even faster than Stoddard in practice was the Frenchman, Jean-Pierre Sarti, twice world champion and an absolute master of these twisting Monte Carlo streets. He's won the Grand Prix here 3 times. He drives for the great Italian manufacturer Ferrari, and his teammate is the young Sicilian Nino Barlini, who's also won a place on the front row. Barlini is the former world champion motorcyclist who made a very successful switch to car racing last year and is certainly a potential world champion in Formula One racing. On the second row is Pete Aaron, the American, now driving for BRM. Pete hasn't won a Grand Prix since he left Ferrari 3 seasons ago, but in spite of 2 bad accidents last year, he's still just as fast as ever. Yesterday, he lapped only a 10th slower than Scott Stoddard, #1 driver in the BRM team.
Let's try and get the season off to a good start, shall we? Drive the car. Don't try to stand it on its bloody ear.
They should show everyone the way home. Tim Randolph, another American, driving a Japanese Yamura, is also on the second row. This team's only been in Formula One racing for 2 years, and so far, the car's not been reliable enough to win a Grand Prix. But the Japanese have the most powerful engines of all. Dégagez! Dégagez la zone de départ! And it's Sarti in the lead from Stoddard, Aaron, Hulme, Anderson and Randolph. Stoddard's drawing level with Sarti up the hill. He's going to overtake him. Now it's Sarti in the red Ferrari, number 17, leading, past the Hotel de Paris and into the Casino Square.
Ferrari. Deuxième, le numéro 12, Stoddard sur BRM. Troisième, le numéro 11, Hulme sur BRM également. Nino Barlini, après un mauvais départ, a repris 2 places.
As the tobacconist, it's Sarti's red Ferrari ahead of Stoddard's green BRM number 12. As they finish the first lap, it's Sarti first, Stoddard second, Aaron third, and fourth now is Barlini's Ferrari number 16.
I used to think nothing could be better than motorbike racing. 3 times I'm a world champion on my motorbike. I'm happy. Then I go into one of these cars. You sit in a box, a coffin, gasoline all around you. It is like being inside a bomb. Crazy, but of course the cars are faster. And that is the most important thing.
remember that at Monte Carlo, because of the nature of the circuit, you shift gears over 2,600 times during the race. That's an average of once every 3 seconds. No reason to expect gearbox trouble. On the other hand, I suppose potential problems are in the back of your mind all the time. I've driven this course 6 times before, and the way I see it, I've only got 3 big problems today, and that's 2 Ferraris starting ahead of me and my own teammate, Scott Stoddard.
Well, actually, walking the course is just about the last thing I do on the morning of a race. It's become a bit of a thing with me. I do a lot of thinking, collecting my thoughts about how I run the race, all that sort of thing. Of course, it originated with my brother, Roger, you know. He used to do the same thing. As a matter of fact, before I started racing myself, I often used to walk the course with him. The funny thing about Roger, you know, the day he was killed, he hadn't walked the circuit for some reason or another. I suppose I'm rather superstitious about that. I love the challenge of Monaco. Driving through ordinary streets full out is, to me, what racing is all about. It's a pity it's the only one left of its kind.
The order is still Sarti, Stoddard, Allen, and Barlini. Stoddard can't quite squeeze his BRM past Sarti's Ferrari. There's very little room to pass on these narrow Monte Carlo streets. Barlini, the other Ferrari,
Entree.
Oh, my darling, you're not ready?
Ready? For what?
But you've forgotten.
Hugo, the way I feel now, if I could remember my own name, I'd consider myself very fortunate. What have I forgotten?
Last night, I told you I'd be by to take you to the winner's circle if Scott wins.
Hugo, there's lots of time. The dungarees. Hugo, have you ever had ouzo?
I have had everything, my dear.
I was with 2 Greeks last night and we drank ouzo. A lot of ouzo.
And where, may I ask, was your husband while all this Greek and ouzo business was going on?
Where he always is the night before a race. Trying to sleep.
Danger? Well, of course. But you're missing a very important point. I think if any of us imagined, really imagined, what it would be like to go into a tree at 150 miles an hour, we would probably never get into the cars at all. None of us. So it has always seemed to me that to do something very dangerous requires a certain absence of imagination.
Number 17, the Ferrari of Jean-Pierre Sarti, is still in front, but he just cannot get away from number 12, Scott Stoddard in the BRM. And the second BRM driver, number 11, Pete Allen, is only 3 seconds behind, with Nino Barlini in number 16 Ferrari breathing down his neck.
Premier Sarti Ferrari, deuxième Stoddard BRM, troisième BRM, quatrième.
25 laps gone, 1/4 of the race distance. And as Sarti and Stoddard fight for the lead, they're leaving Allen and Barlini behind. Stoddard's really pressing Sarti. The Frenchman is usually unbeatable at Monaco, but today the Englishman is faster on some parts of the circuit.
Stoddard est en tête. Et maintenant, Stoddard sur BRM mène à la gare, ayant passé la finale de Sarti comme un hôtel Mirabeau.
getting faster and faster, and he's drawing steadily away from Sarti. There doesn't seem to be anything the Ferrari driver can do about it. There's Scott Stoddart completing his 30th lap and increasing his lead over Sarti. And there's the third man, Barlini, in his red Ferrari, now well clear of Allen. And he's just lapping a slower car. That can be tricky here at Monte Carlo. It's almost impossible to pass unless you can rely on the driver in the slower car to move over and make room.
Il avance à des ennuis de boîte de vitesse qui a l'air de griffer. Il est maintenant au moins à 10 secondes de Barlini.
Stoddart, Sarti, Barlini, Randolph, Aaron.
Get back out there! It's sticking in between third and fourth. Well, didn't do it in practice. You're supposed to be you. All right, I'm doing it on purpose. On purpose or not, you're breaking her up. I didn't build a damn car.
We can't do anything about it now. Do the best you can.
What lap is this? 42. It's a cinch. I'm halfway home. You're never halfway home.
He's Aaron's away again. He's obviously had some sort of gearbox trouble. There's Stoddart now. He'll let his BRM teammate Aaron next time round. Stoddart's driving a tremendous race. And he's broken the lap record again. 1:29.3. That was close. Louis Chiron's waving the blue flag at the American, which means he ought to move over and let the faster car through.
Let's go through! The bloody idiot! Starty's picked up 3 seconds!
You can't blame Pete for wanting to race.
Stop with the